earth, water, wind, fire, whatever. And then you have no more elements, dude. Then you got nothing left. So what are you going to do?
Exactly, yeah.
Avatar space people. They already are aliens. So what are you going to do?
Exactly.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nick. I'm an independent filmmaker and producer north of Boston. And today, I thought it would be kind of cool to have an old friend from a previous podcast that I used to do join me on the show. Joining me today is Andrew Gillian. Andrew, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. It's been forever. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm trying to do really good, you know? I'm just grinding. It's been a lot of work. But it's, you know, it's good and it's really cool. I am feeling, this is funny. This will set this up. You're going to laugh because I'm such a goofball, dude. No, seriously, I am feeling, kind of oppressed recently, which you know me and like, I'm a very sensitive individual, but I just, I've been feeling very oppressed, which is part of the reason that I brought you on today. Cause I wanted to feel like there was another tall person involved, but thankfully Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, thankfully, because there were so many dwarves taking away positions, you know, acting positions from tall people in Hollywood. Like, we just couldn't catch a break as actors, you know? And, like, you're an actor, so I figured I'd bring on an actor. I wanted a SAG actor, but they're all on strike, so I said I'd bring on a non-union actor like yourself, you know? And then, but now, thankfully, we've shoved the dwarves out of the way because they're now doing Snow White and the Seven Magical Creatures. And by the way, Snow White isn't white.
What?
Instead of the seven dwarves. Instead of the no, these are the seven magical creatures because the dwarves apparently it was inappropriate, or it was whatever the hell it was. Like, it was not right to have seven dwarves. Dude, people are going absolutely apeshit right now because, I mean, I don't know how often you see a little person in films or TV, but usually it's around Christmas time when they're playing an elf, you know? Or they in Wolf of Wall Street, when they got thrown at a Velcro target, you know? When people were literally throwing little people at a Velcro target. So needless to say, I mean, obviously I was being a douche earlier when I said that I feel oppressed, like these people are actually not getting a lot of work. And now you've just taken seven roles, right, away in one film. Where
they probably have a lot of fun doing it, too.
Of course they would,
dude. A great time, and they're, like, super excited about it.
All right, let's be honest. When you were a little kid, I'm sure you watched Snow White at some point, right? You watched like, all the Disney films.
That's the thing. It's like, it's someone's childhood, you know what I mean? It's like...
So they, like, literally eliminated, not to mention the fact that all of the seven dwarves, like happy, sleepy, dopey, bashful, like they all represent like different emotions and feelings and like how to, you know, how Snow White deals with each one of them and all this other stuff. Like, dude, it's just what I just wanted to know, since you were just in a film, right? I just wanted to know from your perspective, like, what the fuck is going on? You know what? Here's what else I don't see, okay? I don't see a lot of movies with, you know, big fat either, all right? But I'm not, you don't see me fucking bitching about it. I just don't understand, Andrew, like, where are we going? What the fuck is going on? Because it's like, I was texting RJ this the other day. I was like, dude, do you realize that if we made the most basic movie about a guy who goes out with a girl and they live happily ever after, we'd be the first YouTube channel with 300 followers to get canceled. Like, we would be blacklisted for making a basic-ass movie like that. I just don't... Go ahead.
I just don't know why they're moving in such a different direction than, like, everything else that they've created. It just doesn't make sense to me.
So I don't think that there's any other Disney film out there that is as descriptive or has as descriptive as of a title as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Exactly. And you have a Latina chick and seven tall people.
That's like
it's how much more of a description can you have? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and now you have a Latina chick, Mocha Latte, and the seven tall people. It doesn't make any sense, bro. It's a German fairy tale, right? That has that centers around a princess with skin as white as snow.
Yep. And the mocha lattes event day.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane, dude. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's just like people grow up with these things. It's like, why change them? Well, I know the world's changing. A lot of things are changing. They're trying to keep up with that, but it's like I always felt like movies were a space for people to go back to and like remember. You know what I mean? Like feel good about themselves. If they're in a bad spot, remember
that's Snow White.
They go watch that movie. That's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For some people, that's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
So, I think from like a production standpoint, right? Since I'm always like Mr. Behind the Scenes and everything.
Yep.
Like, do you know like how Disney Snow White was the first movie that Disney made?
Yep.
And it grossed like $50,000,
mm-hmm.
but it was 1937.
Yeah.
So with that $50,000, he built Walt Disney Studios, the animation studios, and then continued on. And the only reason that Disney is the company it is today is because of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That was the first movie. It's the only reason that the Oscars, I'm not kidding, it's the only reason that the Oscars has a category for Best Animated Feature.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
It was invented because Snow White won.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's nuts. And then they want to go like just change everything that has why?
What the fuck?
Makes no sense. It's just stupid.
But here's my thing, right? Like you have Tiana, she the Princess and the Frog movie with the Black Princess or whatever, right? You have Mulan. You have all these different types of Moana.
Yep.
You got, you know what I mean? Like you have. It's not like there's no racial diversity and there's no like you have it. You know. So like if you have it in other like it's just why is it always that white people are so bad and you have to eradicate like what already like what I'm saying is like why do we need to have a Latina Snow White and Seven Tall People? Why can't you make a new story called Mocha Latte and the Seven Tall People?
Yeah.
Like why, you know what I'm saying? Like why can't you have, because it could be dope. That's fine. But why ruin what was already good?
Exactly.
And like why ruin your own, it's like self-sabotage. Like why ruin your own foundation?
Exactly. It's almost like the Fast and Furious is like still dragging out. You know what I mean? It's like at one point it was like actually like, you know, when Paul Walker was still alive, like racing and about cars and like people were really into it. And now it's just like they're flying cars in space. It's like, what's going on?
Well, it's just because like whatever's gonna make them money, I feel like they just keep going because they're too afraid.
It just feels like they're just pushing societal norms just for money. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like they're just changing things. They're just going with what people want to hear, and then they're like, yeah, there's another movie ticket sale. You know what I mean? It's like I don't care what I make. Like I don't care if it's good. I'm just gonna put it out to make money. You know?
I know.
Like I'm not gonna put any passion or any respect into it. You know? It's just, I don't know, it just kind of irritates me.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, like, the reason that Walt Disney himself, not Walt Disney Studios, I mean the guy, part of the reason that he was so successful was because and this is the same reason that, like, any artist of any medium is successful, is because they don't do it for other people necessarily. Like, Walt Disney believed in everything that he created, and it was a passion for him, and he wanted to do things that were inspiring, and he wanted to do things that made him happy because, you know, the same things that would make other people happy. And I just feel like, you know, if you believe in what you're doing and you have that, you know, I don't know, spark of inspiration, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. Like, it's not just drive, though. Like, these people are driven because they're driven by money. They're not driven by passion.
Exactly.
And if you are driven by, like, putting out something of quality and doing something, because it is an art form. Acting's an art form. Filmmaking's an art form. Painting, drawing, animating, these things are all, like, art forms. But if you're doing them to self-satisfy, because you can't live if you don't do them,
it's meaningful.
That's one thing. If you're doing them because you think you're going to make a buck, it will show through.
Yeah.
You know, this is my issue with Star Wars. I don't know if you're a big Star Wars guy or not.
I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Fucking love Star Wars, dude. But I don't love Star Wars now. I love Star Wars back in like the original
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. And before. I saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters.
Oh, that must have been dope.
It was cool.
I never saw it in the theaters. Like first
Yeah, 'cause
time
you were 3
Revenge
years
of the
old.
Sith in the theaters was definitely dope. Yeah. That too.
Even with this, we can talk about Barbie a little bit. I mean, you haven't seen it, right?
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen it either. But just like, you know, like it had great advertising and it looked very interesting and like, you know, you made a Barbie movie. Okay,
Yeah.
great. But I guarantee you it's going to have shitty box office numbers weekend number 2 because it's all going to fall off if everything is just about how men are horrible.
Yep.
And
Beat Oppenheimer, which I'm first week, which I'm
well, because you didn't have a bunch of moms taking their 8-year-olds to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
That's a good
the Barbie movie is if you're a straight guy, a lesbian, a little girl. Like there also weren't a lot of little boys in the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have everybody who would be attracted to Margot Robbie and or Ryan Gosling and or plays with Barbie dolls.
It's going to see Barbie.
Exactly, 100%. And I just guarantee you that I mean, there's nothing but negative stuff coming out of the theater regarding like reviews and stuff like that. And I don't know. I wanted to talk with someone because I could sit here and bitch for an hour. You know what I mean? Like I do every week. And I could sit here and be like blah blah blah, and you know, and just complain about the world. But I wanted to kind of have someone else here who would tell me like, okay, Nick, you're a little bit crazy. Like you sound like a nutbag, or like no, you're totally justified, or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But I wanted your perspective on it.
Well, this is I didn't hear about this until you brought it up.
Snow White.
Yeah. So this is
have you seen the Little Mermaid or heard about the Little Mermaid?
Yeah, I saw the new movie that came out. I didn't see it, but like I saw that it.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so they did a song in the Little Mermaid. It's like called Scuttlebutt or something, and it's you know, you've seen the original Little Mermaid, even a million years ago, the animated one, right?
Yes.
So you know the little like the bird that's like the seagull, the crazy seagull that's in there, right?
Yep.
So now that same character in the live action version has like a rap song that they sing in this, right? They took out the Whistle While You Work song in Snow White and rewrote it to be like a rap song like that other song, and people are saying it's worse than like the one that they heard. It's worse than the Scuttlebutt song from The Little Mermaid. They're just fucking ruining this movie is my point. They're ruining, Andrew, they're ruining this movie.
See, I don't know why, but it's also like, here's the thing too. It's like, where's all the new movies? It's like, why are you recreating everything that was already perfect?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, come up with something new. That's
Sure.
what a lot of my friends say. It's like, like when we talk about movies or whatever, they're just like, why are they doing that? They're like, I don't know why they tend to make something new out of everything that was already perfect. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was already perfect. Leave it. That was 30 years ago. Just leave it. Whatever it was.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, why are you recreating this in 2023 for no reason?
yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I think a lot of it too is just like where the world's going. It's just they're just money chasers. It feels like, which is.
Yeah, I guess.
They're just chasing money, and it's like they're not putting any care. I'm with you. They're not really putting care or passion or artistry into any of it. It's just, I'm gonna grab the money. This is what people want to see. You know what I mean?
But is it what people want to see? That's what I'm asking.
It's not, but it's what they think. Which I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
You know, I don't get it. And it's like it's got to be difficult for someone in your position, because even if you, and I believe you, I'm not saying that you're faking it, but like let's say let's just go with what you're saying for a minute. Like you actually believe this shit. Wonderful. That's great. But then if that's true and someone called you to be in a remake of a Disney animated film, why would you say no? Even I would be like, Disney called you?
Yeah,
Sign that fucking contract, bro. Because that's shmoney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get the bag.
Exactly.
So, like, it's just difficult, but at some point, the money's kind of got to run out.
Yeah.
I guess. Or people just have to kind of be, like, annoyed. It's difficult. But on the one hand, everybody in Hollywood is complaining that it's difficult, so difficult these days to get people to go back to a theater. Okay, but nothing original is coming out.
Exactly. That's the thing.
You know?
Nothing new's coming out.
Which... But regardless of whether or not we like the theme of Barbie, the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer, part of the reason I feel like they're such a cultural phenomenon is because like there's a bit like Barbenheimer, like that whole thing is because they like are not, they're new. Like they're not something that we've seen seven
exactly.
of.
They're so off grid from what has been pushed out in the past like 3-4 years. You know what I mean? Which is why people jumped to the theater.
And they flocked, bro.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, and on the Movie Mob on Friday, we'll talk more about this because RJ and Matt will be here. But I went to see Oppenheimer last week, right, on the opening night. Sold out show. We were snaked back and forth around the theater, waiting in line, like waiting to go into this IMAX theater.
Yeah.
People were, we were all talking to each other. Like it was one of the most electrifying, coolest experiences going to a theater. It wasn't like check your ticket, walk in, find a seat. Yeah. Like every seat was full. Yeah. Every single seat was full. For a 3-hour movie about a guy from 1940. If you like think about it, on like you know what I mean? A guy who who tested a bomb.
And it's like I heard like it's pretty slow. The story is slow.
It's not quick.
It's not quick, right? Yeah.
You know, it's not a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
It's not Transformers.
See, that's the thing. It's a new concept and it jumped and people jumped on it. They're like it's kind of like the same with Avatar, you know what I mean? With like the new Avatar coming out. It's like
see, my issue with Avatar, it's actually an interesting point. My issue with Avatar is that it doesn't, even though the cool thing, here's the thing. It took 12 years for James Cameron to make Avatar, and part of the reason he didn't make it like right after he made Titanic was because they didn't have the technology required. They had to invent it. Like he would basically go into like a giant warehouse room or something, right? And like he could have the camera on his shoulder and it would film the actors, but then it would generate what
into
the people looked like, so you could like see the world or whatever. And like, okay, like yes, that is awesome technology and that's super cool, but not for the average moviegoer.
Yeah.
Because it looks the same as if they had just animated a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't mean like, hand-drawn, but it looks the same as if it's a computer-generated movie.
Yeah.
But there was tons of hype around Avatar, the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember or not, but because it was a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for like a solid year before the first Avatar came out, every fucking week it was like, James Cameron, new movie, like Avatar this, like new technology, craziest film, it looks like nothing you've ever seen before.
And that was after Titanic, right?
Yeah, Titanic came out in like 94.
Yep. Okay. So.
Or 1990 or 1994, something like that. Avatar came out in like 2012.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, but when it came out though, the way that they preached about Avatar was that it was this like never before seen movie experience ever. It's the most incredible thing ever. It was a 3D animated movie about blue people.
The way you just said that.
But it's true.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
It is, yeah.
And then when Avatar 2 came out, the people who liked Avatar 1 went back to see Avatar 2, but there's no way it did nearly as well as the first one.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't
thing.
think. I'll look it up.
Basically the same thing, except they meet the water people. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like Hollywood just needs like a spark right now. Just something new.
So it did $600 million less on the second one. And they're already talking about Avatar 3.
Yeah. And 4.
Yep. But the problem is that they're $2 billion movies. So if it did $1 billion less, then we'd have an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they wouldn't make a 3 and a 4, you know?
Yeah.
But I guarantee you the fourth one will not make $2 billion. I guarantee it won't. It won't.
Yeah. I don't think it will either.
You know, especially like meet the fucking water people. Who cares about the water people?
Yeah.
You know, it's the same. So blue, and then we have water, and we have fire.
Avatar 3 is going to be like
Earth people.
Meet the mountain people.
Yeah, exactly. Meet the stone people.
Exactly. Underground people. Like,
fucking unbelievable, bro.
Yeah,
we have air people. They're just clouds that float around.
It just feels like they're running out of ideas.
But the problem, dude, is that they're too scared to accept new and original ideas from people.
Yeah.
So
but
they're currently also running out of their own ideas.
Exactly. So it's like, why not take a shot?
Earth, water, wind, fire, whatever. And then you have no more elements, dude. Yeah. Then you got nothing left. So what are you going to do?
Exactly, yeah.
Avatar space people. They already are aliens. So what are you going to do?
Exactly. It just, I just think someone needs to wiggle in there and just enlighten things.
Working on it, kid. We're doing what we can, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's annoying because there are so many cool concepts out there, and then we're always so shocked when something like indie does really well.
Yeah.
Everybody's always like, "What? We never saw this coming. This
Yeah,
movie
it's like,
looks
why?
incredible." And it's like, well, if you maybe there's 10,000 more ideas like that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't get it, dude.
It's
I
like,
don't
why?
understand.
It just doesn't make. It's like you just said. It's like people get so shocked when like an independent filmmaker makes like a really good movie.
No, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of independent shit out there.
Oh,
There's a lot of crap.
Of course.
You know?
Of course. But it's like, there's a lot of creative people that have a lot of good ideas that are just hidden under everything because they're scared to show it and they're scared to get denied, whatever. It's just like, and then they just put out this shit and like keep going.
I know. And then the problem is that these movies make $2 billion, $2+ billion. So it's like that you can't really tell people how to spend their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these studios or whatever. And let's be honest. I mean, if you were a big studio executive, Hollywood studio executive, and you just made $2 billion off of a movie, you can't really.
Complaining.
You're not going to tell me that, like, you know, if I was the studio exec and all these people were bitching about Avatar, I'd be like, but you just gave me $2 billion when I made this movie. So how can you tell me it's wrong to make this movie?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I think that I've kind of not changed my stance on the actors' strike or the writers' strike, but I feel like for these particular reasons that we're talking about right now with regard to like the lack of originality and everything in Hollywood, I feel like we are definitely headed toward a culture, like more so of a culture of like indie films.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you know anything about the actors' strike, writers' strike? They were saying I will say some of the studio executives were saying some pretty crazy shit about the writers. Not so much the actors. The actors, they want to come back to work.
Yeah.
The writers, they were literally saying that we will end the strike or the strike will have to end eventually, and we're thinking that by October, writers will. I'm not kidding. This is like real. They were saying that by October, writers will start losing their houses and apartments, so they'll probably want to come back to work.
Exactly.
They're going to hold out until these people are fucking homeless, bro.
Yeah. It's so fucked up.
It's fucked.
It's like they make your money.
Mm-hmm.
Like they give you all the billions you have is from them. If you didn't have their hand on that on that computer, you know what I mean? Then you would be shit.
Oh yeah.
You would be dog shit. You wouldn't be worth anything. They create these crazy stories that these people just throw money for, and they get absolute shit for it. Yeah. Absolute shit.
I know. But I will say these writers are also still the people that are making this crap that's going out there. Like, you know, but they're assigned to. It's like, hey, write me a story about this.
They should get paid for it, I feel like.
I don't disagree, dude.
They should get paid.
I don't disagree. How do you feel about the actors thing? Are you happy you're non-union? You want to make a movie? Because you can.
Yeah. That's why I'm non-union. That's why I'm non-union.
You know?
That's exactly why I'm non-union.
No, but how do you feel about it? I mean, I'm sure you've like you just did a film.
Well, it's weird because what were you gonna say?
No, you just did a film last year that's out, or that just the trailer just dropped for it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. But yeah, it's weird. I don't really know what my standpoint should be, you know, because like I'm not in the union, so it's like I don't really know how to feel about it because it doesn't really like it doesn't concern me all the way. You know what I mean? It's just, but I don't know. I've been trying to keep up with it. I don't know.
Well, listen.
I'm not scared of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously.
Right. Well, it doesn't affect you directly, but I mean, obviously,
that's what I mean. Like
being a SAG member is probably something that you look forward to.
Definitely
doing
later
at
on.
some point. But like I've told you this before, and I give the same advice to everybody who's non-union currently. It's like SAG wants your money, your dues,
exactly.
You know, your annual dues, and they get a percentage of your income. So they will invite you the second that when they decide that Peter Parker is going to be 9 feet tall like yourself, and then they replace Tom Holland with you.
Yeah.
They or whatever it is, right? Whatever it ends up being, like they will call you and be like, "Hey, we'd love for you to be a member of SAG because you're about to make, you know, $20 million a movie or whatever."
Exactly.
It is. So,
and I'm gonna take 5.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not gonna actually say that to you like that, but they are definitely.
That's how it works.
They invite people all the time to be members of the union, and that's exactly the reason for it, so that they can have your money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Can I pull up a video that I saw, and I just want your take on this lady's stance?
Of course.
So like, I don't know who this chick is. She's a member of SAG. She's not a member of the WGA, but she is a writer. And she lives, I guess, in California. But she put this video out like right when the strike started.
I can say from personal experience that right now I'm getting residual checks that are $1.60. I'll insert a photo of literally my residual checks. It costs more money to take the check to the bank because I'm using up gas. It costs more money to do that than what I made in the check.
How about you just mobile deposit it? Like with your iPhone. Like, how much, like, why are you taking the check to the bank?
I'd
bro?
probably just rip it up and recycle
Like,
it.
I mean, it might be, yeah.
Self-tape audition. Another big...
I want your opinion on this.
Oh, what is she about to say about
hold
this?
on.
What is she about to say about her self-tape?
I want your opinion on this so bad because listen. I'm on the production side, okay? So I don't send in self-tapes.
Yeah.
But I want to know, I want you to hear what she has to say, and then I want your opinion on whether or not this is like relatable or like absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Because I cast you in one of my films based on a shitty cell phone tape.
Yeah.
So no offense to you. The performance was great, obviously, but the cell phone tape
was not the best.
Right, but listen to what she has to say and then I'll pause it. You can say pause when you want to react.
Because of the pandemic, actors could not go in person to audition anymore. Actors would have to drive to studios or to casting offices and they'd have to audition in person. Now everything is self-tape. Self-tape auditions basically happen in your room. You set up your lights, your background, your camera. You have to film and then send it into casting directors. And because of self-tapes, actors have had to incur a lot of different costs that used to be the responsibility of productions. I talk about how I have different lights and I have a backdrop and all of these things cost money. You're paying for the opportunity to audition for a job, an opportunity that is not secured.
She say she spent money on like self-tapes.
People do. I mean, you've seen them, right?
Do.
Like people have put the blue backdrop and
they go ham, but
right. But like if
you don't need all that though. You really don't.
Listen, okay. And again, maybe this is a hot take, and you're allowed to say, Nick, you're being insensitive to actors, and like I'm okay with that, and I'm not gonna chew your head off for it. But like, if you're a good actor, it'll come through.
Exactly.
In the pixely shitty cell phone video, it'll come through.
Dude, that tape that I sent you.
Yeah.
I had a switch. The light was over my head. I was up against a white wall.
Yeah, I know.
And like, how shitty did that look?
I was really bad.
But you weren't really looking at the backdrop.
Really pixely. I might insert it here. Like, you know what I mean? So, or like at least like a clip of it or something.
Deleted off
so
switch.
I guarantee you it's probably not. But like I might put it in just to show people like how crappy it actually was. Yeah. But only because you still got cast in the role.
Yeah, it's not.
And I got
how you look.
Listen, I got hundreds of self tapes for that audition. Yeah. Like it has nothing to do with like the quality of your job is not to make the movie. Your job is to act in the movie.
Exactly.
So like
your job is to show them that you can act.
I definitely feel
that is your job.
I definitely feel like there is a little bit of a thought of like, if my self-tape is high quality, that'll make me shine. It's not true.
It's not that.
It's not true.
It's not.
If you're good at acting, if you're good at the role, then you're going to get a call back.
Exactly.
And then they're going to send you a plane ticket to like come out and meet the people, or they'll have a casting agent set up. Like if it's an LA movie, we're in Boston or like north of Boston, whatever. Yeah. If your initial audition is really good, they're gonna say go down to whatever place and meet with this person, and you know what I mean, and do another tape and send it to us. And then if you're really good, you're gonna have to come out here anyway to shoot it. So they're gonna pay for you to come out there and shoot it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand how you can complain about having to go to the bank is more expensive to cash the $1 check because you have to go to the bank with gas and spend all that money. Your acting opportunity, whether you do a self-tape on the phone that you already have or driving to the studio, is just as, it's the same exact thing.
It's the same thing.
Send in as many self-tapes as you can. You're telling me you can't possibly tackle more auditions doing self-tapes than you can in person?
I love self-tapes.
You can send in 10, 15 self-tapes a week if you want to.
Don't get me wrong. I never had the opportunity to audition in person.
You called back in person. I brought you in for call back
Yes,
in person.
yes. That was the only in-person audition I've ever had. Everything else has been self-tape.
Yeah, because I didn't give a shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I need to see these people. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everything else has been self-tape. So I never had the opportunity to go in.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like win the room. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I'd like to see is like how your energy in person shifts.
But
like talking to the people
from
instead of like through the screen.
So I will say I have made movies. I'm not going to mention any names before where I felt won over by actors that then delivered shitty performances and the movie never went out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like, is it
So
really
it's
the
like,
right thing to get sold on the actor, or do you want to get sold on the performance? Because I would rather. I'm telling you right now, I hate like pretentious people and just like whatever, you know. But like, there's a reason that Jared Leto, Leo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, people complain that sometimes on set that they're not the nicest people.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't those names specifically aren't. But Jared Leto, like when he played the Joker, he was like sending dead rats to people and doing crazy stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I don't mean it like they're not nice necessarily, but there's antics sometimes. There's like pranks that get pulled. There's like crazy stuff that happens on set. But when you're Jared Leto, you can't really complain because he's Jared Leto. And what does that mean? It means that whether it's a shitty cell phone tape or you make Jared Leto audition in person, you know what you're getting. You're getting quality. You're getting a good performance. You're getting somebody who gives a shit about acting. Yeah. As opposed to a politician, and I don't mean like Donald Trump style politics. I mean like someone who's there to play to the director and I've seen all your movies and you're so great and you're this and that and just totally
and like try and win the room and then deliver a shitty performance like you said.
That's my point.
So there is like a happy medium. I feel like with self tapes, you guys like
I'm
you know it's the performance. You know if they can act on self tapes, they're not winning you over.
Point blank, I'm not writing you a fucking check if you don't deliver a performance.
But to actors, if we're in the room, it kind of helps us, you know, try and win over the room a little bit.
Maybe, but whatever. So like fucking blow me, bro. Like I don't give a fuck if it makes you feel better that you met the director or the producers or not. You're not getting the role. Like you could be like the best looking guy or girl, whatever. You could be like amazing. You could have a wonderful, beautiful smile. If you can't act, you're not getting the role. Yeah. You know what I mean? That bottom line.
Exactly.
So
they know that. They know that.
But my point is, this is coming from a perspective of somebody who, this is 100% coming from the perspective of somebody who is saying, like, it's really cool when we get to go in and meet people and work the room, as opposed to I want to send in a bunch of self-tapes. It comes from insecurity. Now, listen, a lot of great actors are insecure about a lot of things, and, you know, like... But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's your job. Like, you're acting. You're pretending to be something that you're not. Yeah. We've talked about this at length, you know what I mean? About like stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that are unnatural to you because you're not playing Andrew Gillian. Totally. You're playing the character. Totally. The character isn't you, and you wouldn't expect them to act like you. So why would you not want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. Does
like put everything you got into it. You know what I mean? It's just
every single time. That's what makes it a job.
Exactly.
That's what, like, job.
That's what keeps pushing you. Is like wanting to not get a no.
Like to do, but to do it the best that you possibly can, and that doesn't mean doing like the highest quality self tape.
That doesn't mean putting up 3 lights so you get the best light on
my
you.
My point. This
with
is
the backdrop blue, so it makes your eyes pop. You know what I mean?
No, it means like do your fucking job.
It's like, okay, just fucking act.
Right,
dude. I take classes. I've seen kids. He has a little pole, goes right up a light, and his phone's right above the light, and the camera's facing him, so he's watching himself act, and he'll just do it and send it in.
Right. I would say have a good headshot. Right.
Yeah,
get some headshots done, but that's a one-time fee, and that's regardless of whether you're going in person or not. You want to have a decent headshot. Have a decent headshot, and have at least a cell phone that can record and send video.
Yeah.
That's all. That's literally all you need. And by the way, if you don't have that in 2023, you're living under a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
Welcome to the real world.
You don't need to put it on cinematic and freaking do all this
It's insane,
shit, you know
bro.
I mean?
It's insane to me, all right?
I can't believe if I like if people film self-tapes not on cell phones, that's pretty crazy to me. If they just like if they bring out like a camera like that. You know what I mean?
If they bring out a camera like that,
they're
then-
not. But you know what I mean? Like the other one. But
Yeah.
it's like still, that's crazy to me. It's like you don't need to do all that. You know?
Yeah, 100% agree.
It's the performance. It's the performance.
There-
It's
there-
always about the performance.
Okay, so Andrew, I saw this video, okay?
Yeah.
And I want your reaction to
Okay.
what this SAG member says
Yeah.
about non-union actors.
All right.
Do you wanna take a look at this,
Yeah,
Andrew?
I'd love to look at this.
AFTRA is on strike, what are they not allowed to do? So for us actors, we are not allowed to audition or work on any projects. We are not allowed to cross those picket lines to go work inside studios or work outside of studios. If union members do not follow those rules, they risk being fined and kicked out of the union. And you might be asking, well, what if I'm a non-union actor, but I have the opportunity to work a job? I would highly advise against that, because just like the WGA, if they write a project, or if you as an actor work on a union project or any project, you risk not being able to join the union at all. You will be blacklisted. So if you want to be protected as an actor moving forward later in your career, even if you're not in the union, you have to stand firm with the union you want to be a part of in the future. That's why for me, even though I'm not a part of the WGA, I'm a screenwriter, but I'm not going out and pitching my different ideas. I'm instead marching on the picket lines in support of the WGA. Otherwise, I will be blacklisted and I will not be able to join the WGA in the future.
She's telling people like you
Yeah.
not to be in films and shows right now, or
Because
you
it's
will
gonna-
not be allowed in the union later.
Yeah, that's complete bullshit.
What would you say as a non-union actor to other non-union actors?
I would say go do all the work you can because you are in a great position to work right now. So go get your bag while these union
Literally.
people complain.
I mean, are you crazy saying shit like that? That's
who are you to
insane.
say that?
But what I'm saying is, like, how can you tell people who have nothing to do with your union that they also can't work?
Yeah, that we shouldn't work because you're not gonna be in the union later if you work right now in a little.
You'll
indie.
be blacklisted on this shit. Let me tell you something,
In the
Andrew.
boom. The boom on
I
the blacklist.
guarantee you, if you're in a movie right now,
Yeah.
when you get into making 5, 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
million dollars a film, SAG will
Yeah.
come running, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
They will
dude.
come
They'll-
running to your door saying, hey, you want to join the union and give us some of that dough? Hey, nice bag you got there, Andrew. Can
Yeah,
we get some of that money?
Exactly. Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. And then I'm.
What a load of shit.
Yeah, that's
dude.
bold, dude.
Now, listen, I agree on the side of the AI stuff. I agree that some of these things are super important. But,
Yeah, but
who
don't
are
tell
you?
non-union actors to not work right now because you're gonna get fucked later on.
Dude, so like I'm not crazy, right? Like, is that not like total intimidation?
Yeah, that's
like,
like that's
tactics?
like.
Now,
yeah,
if you
that's
knew
like-
nothing about acting, if you were like deciding today, right, that you want to quit your job at the grocery store and
Yeah.
become an actor and all this other stuff, right? And you went online and you were like, how to become an actor, and then this video comes up to talk about the strike. How would you feel if you were a brand new actor
Yeah,
out
you're
there? Like, wouldn't you feel like, oh, I guess I just have to start striking and then I'll become an actor?
It's like, well, Shaw's hiring. Yeah.
Out of all of like backstage.com is a great
Yeah.
website for listings for both union and non-union work,
Yeah.
right? But what percentage of the listings on a website like Backstage would you say are non-union?
Oh, it's easy 60-40.
Easily,
More,
right? Maybe
70-30.
70-30. It's all like non-union
Yeah.
work. And let's be honest, I would say maybe 50+% of the non-union work is paid.
Yeah.
Right? So
lot
there
of it is,
you
yeah.
can make money doing non-union work. You do make
You
money
do.
doing non-union work. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely doable. It's like
Super
SAG
doable.
is not the end all be all for
Yeah.
actors.
They make it seem like it's so fucking great to be in SAG, but then like
I was
This
dude.
shit
I watched
happened.
this whole video and like she's great. She's very eloquent, very well spoken.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
there's a lot of good takes.
she has
in
good
the
points.
video.
Don't
She
get me wrong.
does
She
have
has
good
very
points.
good points.
But that is some bullshit.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like I feel like that's the thing what I'm saying where it's like trying to be too much. It's like I want my voice heard, so I'm gonna start spewing bullshit.
bro.
It's like not real, and that is not advice you should be giving to people that are trying to become actors. Like,
right now, imagine you're a non-union dwarf.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the Snow White take?
Yeah.
You know? What if you're a non-union dwarf? You can't be an elf this Christmas.
Yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
you can't be anything. You can't do shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me, man. It's insane. Like, this business is difficult to get into. It's difficult
It's super difficult.
in every aspect. It's not just difficult to be an actor.
The thing is too, it's like you can't win anywhere. It's like you can't. People think
True.
like you can't win anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's just like
Say what you're thinking. I'll
just
cut it if
people-
it's
I
like
don't know. I just feel like people push for so many different things in this industry. Like, it's always changing. You know what I mean? It's like it's always changing, but it's like, I don't know. It's just so money driven. It feels like everything is just so money driven. Like, I don't know why. Like, even the thing we're talking about movies being remade. It's like Wonka.
oh
It's
my
like Timothy
god.
Chalamet is why? You're just taking the 26-year-old that every girl in fucking America loves, and you're putting his face in a movie that
Oh my god.
shouldn't even be freaking.
Thank you for saying that. Did you see the trailer for Wonka?
Yeah.
So you saw that Hugh Grant is playing the
Yes.
Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
Another one where they're not casting a dwarf as the Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
They're casting the a fucking 6 foot tall whatever and CGIing his face onto a short person like
and
body.
the original Oompa Loompa was talking about it, and he was.
Dude, it's
There
bullshit.
was a video, and he was like pretty pissed.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Yeah, it's kinda,
Dude, listen.
It's like why?
Let's
But
be
it's
honest
also
here,
like-
right? If you're someone who fits into an incredibly specific category. Let's be honest here, like Tom Cruise, and for a long time, it was like the standard that men in Hollywood were short. Tom Cruise is like 5'2" or some shit. Like, he's fucking short, okay?
Yeah.
You are not that. You're a tall, skinny white guy in America. Like, there's not a lot out there where you're going to fit directly into the category that they're looking for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seriously. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, imagine that you're like 4'9", you know, 4'6" or something.
Yeah.
There's like no roles out there.
It's not a lot,
Like, you have to fit into a very niche specific thing to be cast in a whole bunch of
and
different
now
stuff.
they're trying to take it away, and then they're like, oh.
Then, like, what are you doing? I just don't understand. Like, if you preach this equality and you preach this representation of all these different cultures and diversity and all this other
everything.
shit,
It's
like, why are you taking roles away from people that could be doing different like these jobs?
Exactly. And you can't tell me when you make that movie and you see those people, like, it doesn't enlighten you and make you happy. Like, it makes you happy no matter who you are. Like, when you
Oompa Loompas
see
are
that
dope.
stuff-
The
yeah,
Seven
they're
Dwarves
sick.
are dope.
They're dope. Yeah, it's dope.
I don't get it. And, like, I'm not trying to, like, make the whole thing about Snow White necessarily, but, like, I saw, like, this shit really, it's, like, aggravating.
Yeah.
Because it's like, not only are you not being original, you're ruining something that was really cool.
Exactly. Same thing with Wonka. It's like, why? You didn't even have to make the one with Johnny Depp.
They didn't.
It's like, in the, what's his name? Who played him originally before Johnny Depp?
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, he was talking about it in an interview too. He's like, I don't know why they.
Yeah, he's dead now, but he was saying when the Johnny Depp one, he said he respects Johnny Depp and that he likes Johnny Depp as an actor, but that he's not going to see the Wonka movie
Yeah, he doesn't want to watch
because
it.
he doesn't like the way that it's being portrayed.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about a movie like Willy Wonka, a lot of topics. This is why I love when you're here, man, because we just go all over the place. But like, the cool thing about the Wonka, Willy Wonka as a character with Gene Wilder anyway, was that it was, and I said this on the other podcast that I do, the Movie Mob one, when the Wonka trailer dropped, we reviewed the trailer. But I like that the Gene Wilder version was like a real, like, you felt like you could have grabbed a golden ticket in a Hershey's bar and gone to, like, you know, the Hershey, Pennsylvania factory,
Exactly.
whatever, right? And like, Gene Wilder felt like a real relatable character. It made it feel more weird because their lives were so incredibly normal, and then inside the factory, everything is like turned upside down. Whereas in the Johnny Depp version, like, the kid lives in a house that's like sideways.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, everything is a cartoon. Like,
It's
not
like
not
weird.
really a cartoon, but you know
it's
what
like,
I mean?
It's like
It's Tim Burton. Like, everything is like,
Tim Burton.
it's a weird, strange world. So it's like, why are they so shocked by the weirdness of the stuff that happens in the factory when they live in a house that's sideways? Do you get what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it doesn't have the
And
same.
then like the one with
impact.
Timothy Chalamet is just like.
Well, that one looks like it's made by the director of the Paddington movie, which I heard Paddington did really well for children, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine, that's great. But it just looks like very almost Polar Expressy to me, is how I said it.
Yeah, it's just like, why are you remaking it?
What are we doing
It's
here?
like, why are you remaking it?
Did we need like you're telling me you couldn't find a single other original screenplay by an unknown screenwriter or something? You couldn't find a single one that would be a better choice to make than a third version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
And the hottest star, 26-year-old star right now, just throwing him in it. Like,
but wait, but let's not even shit on Timothy Chalamet, because I'll tell you right now, that kid's an incredibly talented dramatic actor. Okay, there's a reason he is where he is, and it's not because he's so handsome.
Yeah, he's very good.
That definitely helps. You know that he's a good-looking kid,
actor,
but he's a very talented actor.
Totally.
Are you really putting him to his full potential? Are you pushing his boundaries? Are you putting him out there at his at the ends and limits of his work?
It's weird because I feel like he's not like a happy-go-lucky like actor. Like he's like, beautiful boy shit. You know what I mean?
110% agree with you there. Beautiful Boy, Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
All these movies.
Rainy Day in New York. Like he needs to be in those like.
And there's a weird thing about that crossover with actors where they become more of a sex symbol as opposed to a dramatic or a
like
talented
their craft
actor.
Or what their real craft is, yeah.
Right, exactly. And I think someone who carries both really well or has carried both. There's two people that I'm thinking of right now that carried both really well. One is Johnny Depp. Throughout his career, very talented actor and a total heartthrob, right? Yeah. Throughout his entire career. Leo DiCaprio as well. Total heartthrob his entire career, and very, very talented actor. But then you have people like, no offense, I'm just saying, like George Clooney, who started as the heartthrob, and they gained some like notoriety for some pictures, but they're known as being the one that all the moms want to get with. You know what I mean? George Clooney is the heartthrob who can act.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet is the actor who also happens to be a heartthrob.
Yeah.
And I feel like more recently he's becoming, let's just put him in because of his name and he's cute.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. It's like.
Right. So it's just I don't know, man. It's annoying. I just feel like they're ruining so much stuff. I want to get out there and make movies.
I just want to see it like take like a total different turn. It's like go on a different curve.
100%. And
go on a different curve.
Maybe, and this can be a hot take, but I think maybe the strike is a good thing. Could be a good reset for a lot of shit.
I think if there was a time to do it, it's now.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's not even that I disagree with the fact that they're striking. I disagree with so much stuff that comes out of Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
And the lack of originality, and I've been complaining about this for years, at the very least since you met me years ago. Like I've been complaining about the fact that there's such a lack of originality. You don't see, like Steven Spielberg made Jaws when he was 27. 27 years old. Steven Spielberg made Jaws. George Lucas was 27 when he came out with Star Wars. And everyone laughed. You're making a fantasy space opera with laser samurais and like people were like, what are you talking about? People are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's one of the biggest franchises ever created ever.
If not the biggest.
Yeah, easily. What's her name? J.K. Rowling, right? I mean, it's more of a book as opposed to a movie.
But still,
But she lived in her car, right? And it took her 5 years to create the world of Harry Potter before she started writing the first book.
It's passion. That's passion.
But it's originality.
Yeah, and
something
that's
that people actually give a shit about.
That's what used to sell.
Right.
Originality.
You know what people are not making into they're not selling their story for $4 billion or whatever? Fucking Willy Wonka, okay?
Yeah.
It's not a $4 billion movie, all right? The only reason, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, dude. Maybe we're both fucking idiots and it's just dumb and we'll never be successful. But I have a feeling that if stuff like this strike continues, that we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be good.
I think we'll be good.
I think we'll be all right.
Do you want to? I want to talk about a little bit. We don't have to mention the name or go into too much detail or whatever. But I mean, how's dude, I haven't seen you in months. I haven't
know,
seen
it's
you
been a
in.
long
It's
time.
been a while.
I know.
How's your life? Like, what have you been up to? How's acting?
It's going good. It's good. I've been working a lot in the summer.
That's
you know,
good.
I take the summer to work just because, you know, gotta keep up with the money while the acting's going where it is right now. But you know,
Yeah,
what
no,
I mean?
it's crazy. I know.
A lot of stuff's just starting to slow down, but I'm trying to take advantage of the non-union stuff.
Are you
But,
excited about the films that are coming out that you're in?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally excited.
That's
I'm not
awesome.
gonna name drop any of them.
No,
but
no. I hear you. I hear
There's
you.
2 trailers that are out.
I know, dude. I know. I'm pumped.
You know, sort of pick and choose and try and find which
Look
the
at
2 are. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's been good. I've just been working a lot. Just self tapes, you know.
Yeah. Are you doing a lot of self tapes?
Yeah,
That's
definitely. I got cast in a fight scene coming up.
Nice, dude.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear back. I got a call back on this short film that I'm waiting to hear back on.
I'm pumped for
So
you.
we got a couple stuff coming up. Yeah, I got like this fight scene I gotta do like training for and like choreograph a fight scene.
You have to choreograph it, or
No,
they're
no,
gonna
like,
choreograph
they're
it?
choreographing.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
but we gotta go do like training, and there's gonna be like a stunt coordinator and stuff. So
That's gotta be fun.
pretty pumped on that. You know, I've never done like a big like fight scene and stuff. He was actually wondering. He's like, "Have you ever done any like stunt stuff?" And I was just like,
You're like,
I got shot in a shower, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds cool."
it was
He's
cool.
like, "That sounds really hard," and I was like, "It was really hard, but it was really dope too." You know what I mean?
You're like, it was freezing.
Yeah, it's like I got a lot of blood on me. The blood was cold, but so was the movies. But yeah, other than that, you know, just soaking up sun, taking advantage of the summer, and seeing what's trying to pivot into the non-union stuff as much as I can right now.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's super
Yeah.
cool. You got to hit it really hard. Listen, if you
Yeah.
want it to be your job, just like anything else, like, dude, the one thing that's crazy to me, right, is like if you wanted to quit acting, I'd slap you in the face. But if you wanted to quit acting and become like a real estate agent, there will be like a Century 21 or a Caldwell Baker or like whatever it is that you want to join, and then they're gonna say, go sell houses.
Yeah.
And you have to establish yourself as a real estate agent.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got to work for it.
We got to restart all again.
No, but you got to find people is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like there is no job out there that is going to be considered easy if you want to make it a career.
Yeah.
Bagging groceries at a grocery store is not a career. It's a job.
Yeah.
And it's guaranteed, and it's minimum wage, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's whatever. And like, listen, some people, you see those guys that says Tom 40 years on his name tag or whatever at like Market Basket, and you go, good for you, Tom. You know, you're like doing
nice,
this for
Tom.
40
you know
fucking
what?
years.
You look happy, Tom.
Yeah,
you're doing good.
Good for you, Tommy boy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Make sure the eggs go on top, you fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and still put them on the bottom.
every time. 40 fucking years of crushed eggs.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. But what I'm saying is, like, if that's
Still haven't learned.
but if that's what you want to do with your life, that's fine. If you want to get into an industry that's difficult to get into, you
gotta
have to
work for it.
fucking work.
Yeah, you gotta grind.
You got to work really
Especially
hard.
this. It's a hard industry. You gotta push, and
You're competing.
You can't get discouraged.
You're competing, especially on the acting side. It's difficult on the filmmaker side too, and on my side of things, it costs so much money.
It's money.
The equipment, the paying of the actors. A lot of non-union actors in non-union productions don't get paid at all. They're just trying to build a reel for themselves so that they can get into bigger Hollywood stuff where there is a budget or whatever it is. You know, I try and pay all of my actors on all of my stuff, but like, the amount of equipment and then festival runs and trying to submit films to festivals.
Trying
Each
to
one
get
of
it
them,
somewhere bigger.
you pay the fee to get into a festival. If they don't accept the film because it's too long, it's too short, it's not the right type of film, they don't give you the money back. It's an application fee.
Yeah.
So they get them the $20. You go, oh, it's $20. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, but when you submit to like 300 or 400 different festivals, you're looking at like $5-10 grand just in festival fees.
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane.
Yeah. Plus
And
the 5 on the movie, or 15, whatever it was, you know.
And all of these other people out there who are making their short films, right? Whether there's a big budget or a little budget or whatever, they're also submitting.
Yeah.
So it is a very competitive field to be in.
Yeah, it's
to
just
get
like,
recognized for
it's just
your work.
like the self-tapes. There's 400 other actors going for the self-tapes. There's 400 other filmmakers submitting to the festivals. You know what I mean? It's
And
like,
I think the thing
it's a
that
grind.
they're not realizing on the side of the strike and all this other stuff is that, like, there's always going to be someone to fill the shoes.
Yeah.
So if you got to step out of the way, like, at some point, some concessions are going to have to be made, because there's going to be people out there who are like, You want to be in a movie? Let's go. I don't like you're a no name, you're a nobody, whoever you are, and you go, hey, listen, you kind of look like. Would you come in for an audition?
Yeah.
And if they get the role, they get the role.
Yeah.
And now none of you guys get the role because you're upset about having to send in self tapes. The AI thing, I will say that like this got brought up like months and months ago on the Movie Mob podcast every Friday 6 p.m. Subscribe.
You heard that?
Yeah, 100%. James Earl Jones, the guy who plays the voice of Darth Vader, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said he doesn't want to play Darth Vader anymore. He's retiring because he's like 150, okay? Which is fine. And he signed off for Disney to be allowed to use his voice with AI to recreate it for future Darth Vader stuff because he is the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And at the time, this is months ago, like 6-7 months ago.
I like that because if there's another actor trying to do Darth Vader's voice, I'm going to freak out.
As long as James Earl Jones still gets paid because they're letting him use his voice. Now, I don't know.
Exactly.
I obviously wasn't a member of the contractual.
You weren't in the room when they were contracting.
I wasn't. I was sick that day.
Yeah.
They called. They asked. They wanted me to review it. I said, give me a second.
Let me go watch an episode of Suits and I'll be back.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't feel like getting off the couch today. I know it's James Earl Jones, but he'll be all right without me, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
He'll make it work. But my point, though, is that I still was, like, a little weirded out by it because whenever you're, like, you are you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if they own your image and they own your voice and that's the way that technology is moving, it's not, I don't think robots are going to take over the world. And if they are, it's not going to happen within my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing that's crazy to me is like I do podcasts.
Yeah.
My voice is all over the place.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to take my voice, you've seen that image of I don't know who it is. It might be Leo DiCaprio, but there's someone up on stage like at the United Nations, and they make him sound like Joe Rogan, and they make him sound like
the deep fakes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like
you can't even tell if a video's real or not anymore sometimes.
This is my
with the
point.
deep
And these
fakes.
are people like in their basement. And this isn't Hollywood making this shit. Like this is some kid in his basement making
this is some
these.
dude on just a Mac editing.
So like
shit.
at what point when you get these scam calls and everything, and it says like, "Hey, honey, it's your mom." And I'm stuck on the side of the road. Everything's fine, but I got to pay the taxi guy, 50. Can you Venmo me or whatever it is? And then by having some sort of transaction, they like steal all your stuff. That's the part that's scary to me.
Exactly.
And by signing off and allowing the technology to develop where they're like, by actors agreeing to the background stuff, it's like the first step. So I agree is what I'm saying with the actors on the AI thing. Like, I feel like it's like you need real people, okay?
Yeah.
You need real people. But like I don't know, man. I feel like it goes. It's just a little too far in some cases, and there's way more evil applications for the technology than like good applications for the technology.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think it's something they definitely need to take a long, long time deciding about, and it needs to be carefully looked at. Yeah. And for future endeavors, what this could lead to in the future, and like. What if there's an actor that's like, I don't like working when there's not actual people behind me?
Well, yeah, or what if it's like more difficult or
like what
whatever.
if you can't bring or feel alive in the scene because there's not that commotion going on behind you?
Or I mean, I get what you're saying, but
like,
at some point then like, that's the whole thing with like the blue tennis ball that's a dragon. You just have to imagine it's a dragon. Like it is your job to act. You know how I am.
Exactly.
So like I get where you're coming from. I'm more on the side of the person who's not getting paid, but they're still in the film.
Exactly.
Like they're like,
that's the bullshit.
Imagine if you went in as a background actor and you get scanned, and then maybe like 5 years from now you meet some girl, you want to settle down, you want to get married and have kids, and you get out of acting altogether. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying what if? Yeah. But then you like take your kids to a movie one day, and the version of you that they scanned 20 years ago is now still in the background of a film somewhere.
45.
And you don't get paid for it or something. Aren't you going to be like, wait, that's me? Like what? Like what is going on?
Bullshit.
Right. Yeah. Like that's crap. Like that's crazy. And maybe you won't care. Maybe you won't care. Guarantee you care. Guarantee you give a shit.
Huge care.
Big care.
Huge care.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
The thing, I definitely want residuals for that. You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't you?
They'd be like, they better, if that comes alive into life, there better be a fat residual check that comes with every time you use our face.
Yeah, using the likeness, the image, like that's something that like you just can't get out of, because then you also, if they own that image, then that means that they can probably sell that image to other companies, which means they could imagine like if you open a company and you want to make a commercial for your company and you want to license like 50 AI people from Disney, you know, for the background of the commercial that you're making for your company to advertise your products. So now imagine if your face is like everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
And you get paid for 1 day of work.
What the?
Like, that's crazy, because they can do with it whatever they want because they own your likeness. That's insane.
It's crazy.
You know?
It's crazy.
I don't know. I love technology. I think it's great. It's allowed me to open and start my company, and it's been, you know, like the advancements in technology. But I just...
There's limits with it. There's limits with it.
Or you could just do things the right way.
Yeah.
You know? Like, just, like...
It's almost like... It's almost like they don't want they're done with putting the work in. It's like, what? You don't... Like, they're done going to the casting agencies and be like, yo, where's the background actors? Like it's almost like they don't... They're just giving up. Like, they don't want the work. They don't want the hard work anymore. They just want the easy route.
Right. Well, they
Let's
just
scan your face once, and then I never have to see you again or talk to that bum ass casting agency to get you in here. You know
right.
What I mean?
And I think that's something that's interesting too. It's like the greed around. It doesn't matter like what, like it's everyone across the board, from the people that don't want, you know, to send in self-tapes to the big studio execs that want to do the AI. It's just the only consistency is the fact that nobody wants to do any real work.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why everything is shit right now.
Yeah.
Because when it, like they say, if you love what you're doing, then it's not work or whatever. And like, that's true on the feeling of like when you're passionate about something, like it's super fun and you want to continue doing it forever and blah, 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 blah. But like, I have gone when we're on set, when we're shooting, like I don't sleep. You know, because and it's partially because I'm so excited about what we're doing, but I'm not a big like I'm a workaholic.
Yeah,
we're making shows, podcasts, videos, reaction videos, films. We're writing scripts. I have 4 scripts right now that I'm like haven't even started. That I wanted to shoot this summer. Haven't even started into like the editing stages of the scripts.
Yeah.
I got client work. I got a whole bunch of shit that I'm doing, and I love every second of it. But that doesn't make it not work, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you have no idea how many times I turned down. Hey, you want to go out tonight? Can't. I'm working at the studio.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. And that's the things you gotta.
And when was the last time you heard me bitch about working though, and complain that I'm working too much?
Not a lot.
Never.
You love it. It drives you. It's what keeps you going.
I love doing what I do.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm psychotic for that, and that's fine. Yeah. But I love doing what I do.
Maybe you're not.
Well, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe, but like it just seems to be the way that the world is like heading right now is how little can we do and how much can we get paid to do it? And it's like you care so much about money, but like if you just focus on something that you really like were interested in and something that you actually had passion for, the money will come. Yeah. Money literally is made out of paper, which
print it.
It's just from trees. Like they'll print money.
They print it.
People, if you put out quality product, there's an ass for every seat. There is going to be someone out there with money who goes, "Can I buy that from you?" That's awesome. That's really cool. If you keep, you know, and like if you're not getting that phone call, if you're not getting the people that want to work with you, probably want to work maybe a little bit harder on the stuff that you're putting out, or show different people the stuff that you're putting out because it's either crap or you just haven't hit that right mark yet, or you're too new. I feel like there's like the other thing I wanted to say is like I feel like there's a lot of this general consensus of like, it's day one. I want to be Robert De Niro day one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but no one knows who you are.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put in the work, you know. You got to go take the class. You got to go.
Dude, this is why. I mean, I get comments, especially on like TikTok and shit. People are like, "Oh, our podcast isn't doing very well." We have like 10 episodes, bro.
Yeah. Like
we have nothing. Like I'm not saying that I'm Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I like doing this because I like to interact with people. I like to have conversations with you. I answer 9 out of 10 comments on the YouTube videos or whatever. Like I love this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this because I want to be Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
I like talking and I got shit to say, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's super interesting. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here. We've gone an hour and a half. I don't
course,
know if
dude.
that's like enough or you want to keep going. If you got a whole bunch of shit, if you got anything else you want to say,
It's totally up to you, man. I mean,
I'm very proud of you with your career and how hard you work, and I think you're doing a great job. And I want to
Thank
continue
you.
seeing it. And I don't know, man. Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out
of
today.
course, dude. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
having me.
You're the best.
Appreciate it.
All
Great
right.
smiles, great laughs.
Always.
Tune in, guys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like, subscribe, or whatever. Do whatever you want. Don't dislike the video. Go ahead, go for it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because if you dislike it, the more dislikes I get, the more likely I'll be back next week. Like, you know, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
So go dislike it.
Yeah, right. Whatever you do, don't subscribe. You know, let's see how how long I can go with like 330 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be so
Yeah,
funny.
good.
Anyway, thanks for
Okay.
coming on, Andrew. Appreciate
Thank you, guys.